First of all, good morning, everyone. And I am coming to you from our brand new Keller Williams Wesley Chapel Business Center. Yay! This has been something that's been in the works for years, I think. I'm in the conference room right now with several of our staff people as well. So we were here all morning meeting with people to figure out where furniture's got to go, paint, um, internet connections, things like that. So we're real excited to get this up and running and going for all of you. Our feel is it's going to probably be August 16th, mid-August, when we have doors open and we can function, bring clients and do all that type of thing. But we are going to be Tampa Properties people. It's a business center attached to your market center. So those of you that we're going to want to have presence here and things like that, you're going to start to see information come out regarding that. What I want you all to be thinking about is what agents do you know in the Wesley Chapel or Northeast Pasco marketplace that might be apropos to be able to be in this particular office. It's an opportunity for Keller Williams profit share earners, which hopefully all you are. It's an opportunity for us to have a higher growth of our brand here in the Wesley Chapel marketplace. And quite honestly, this is something that's been asked for years, ever since I've been with Keller Williams, which is 10 years. So we're excited about it. So anyway, thought I'd throw that out there to you. So go on to the next slide, Amber, so we can move forward with that. Hello, Amber. Okay, clearly not happening.
You're up. Broker update.
There we go. Okay, didn't see it. All right. So that was one of the updates, just making sure. That was one of the updates. Secondly, just so everyone's aware, we have a new team leader in the Bel Air Market Center. Ashley Guidus has moved over to the Bel Air Market Center and is leading that team and already up and running and doing a wonderful job. We haven't skipped a beat over there. I've been over there quite a bit myself, so it's been cool for me to be able to do a lot of business consult with those agents and whatnot. So Ashley's doing that. In addition to that, because she's moving over to that area, Michelle Moreno has taken over the broker liaison spot over in Tampa Properties in Northwest Tampa. So there's a little bit of shifting around, but all in the family shifting, right? So it's all good things and people you're familiar with. So use your broker liaisons. They're there for you. They're there to help you. And of course, it gets to a certain point that I need to be involved as broker. I'm here for you. That's not an issue. It's not a problem. We're good to go with that. So that's one thing. The other thing is just a quick update. This is a reminder, and I did talk on a few of the huddles about this, but not in any team meetings except Bel Air, because I did do their team meeting last week. Be really, really careful with the wire fraud issue. It's still happening out there. There's a lot of hacking still occurring. We had a scenario 2 weeks ago in the Clearwater Market Center where a client wired $171,000 to a bogus account. Isn't that nice? Right. Unfortunately, because she's with Keller Williams, we were able to get on top of it, get it taken care of, and they're good to go. But what happened with that was a title company, a hacker posed as a title company and pretended they couldn't get a hold of the buyer who was transitioning from one area to another, asked our agent for contact information. They didn't give out wire instructions. They just gave contact information. The title company asked the buyer for that information as well. And then all of a sudden the buyer wires $171,000 to a bogus account. So again, I know some of you are like, compliance, transaction protection, it's too much. We're just saving you, we're helping you. We want to make sure you're not writing a check for $170,000. So just be careful, know that that's very live and well. And that's why that form is in the packet that the client signs to help protect you and me. Next, be on the lookout. Mega Camp's coming in August. At the bare minimum, you do have the opportunity to attend Mega Camp. I think it's around $109, at least it was. Now it's $119. Sorry, a little Tamara update across the table here. So it's like $119 now. So, and you don't have to leave your living room to do that. So know that that's there. There are going to be some in-person events happening. We don't have details on those yet, but whether they're in the area or exterior of the area, watch for your market center leadership to get that information to you. We should have that to you in the next week or so. There are some tickets for a minimum production level for people that still want to go live, actually. And I know that the market center leadership is in touch with agents regarding that. So just know that's out there. Next, we are going to be doing an in-person bold this fall, like normal old-fashioned bold, one day a week, come into the office. It'll be held in the Tampa Market Center. I'm in the process of working with the bold powers that be to get us a great coach. We had Dusty Oglesby for the last one, who was phenomenal. So I want to get someone like him or him of someone of that quality. So those of you that are doing your business plans from now till the end of the year, know that that's coming up, and it's something that's going to be an opportunity for you. And quite honestly, when the average agent in the room does 14 to 16 additional transactions, it's going to be something you're going to want to be a part of. So those are my updates. Let's move forward over to Andrew. I'm going to mute here. Andrew's literally right across from me.
How's it going, everybody? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So I've got just a couple of quick updates for you. One, we now have the option to automatically start a smart plan for leads that come in from Facebook ad campaigns. I'm going to show you real quick what that looks like here, and I'll have to be made a co-host. I'm sorry, Amber. So there we go. So I'm a co-host now. So one moment here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sharing, you have to share. Yeah.
All right. So now whenever you go to create a Facebook ad campaign, you're gonna have a new option here for lead settings. Now, what this is gonna do is you can automatically tag the contacts that come in as leads from that ad, but you can also assign them to a smart plan as soon as they come in as a lead. So that changes the speed to lead from whenever you get around to it to instantly, which should help out with turning some of those leads over. Another quick update is we do have our Q3 magazine available. I know a lot of you are using this at a pretty high level, and it's a lot of useful information and content that's already created for you. So you feel free to go into designs, check the lead generation area, and you can find your personally branded zine. And you can go through and see all the different options and content they have for you. Again, you can edit any piece of this whatsoever. So if you don't like the picture, you can change it. If you don't like the text on it, you can change it as well. That's all I've got for you all today. Happy Thursday.
Alrighty, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you spending the time with us. Okay, moving right along, we are going over to the world of new homes division. And Deborah, I don't know, Amber, if you could spotlight Deborah Marina, because she's going to talk us real quick through, they're having a new construction tour coming up. And we know the value that Maria and Deborah's program brings to us. A lot of agents have had sales that normally wouldn't even have gone through in this last batch of marketing time if it wasn't for their program. So Deborah, what do we got coming up?
Yes, thank you, Howard. So I can't tell you how excited we are to be back offering in-person new construction tours. We know resale inventory continues to be low, so it's important to know who is building what where. So on Monday, July 26th, we are headed out to Wesley Chapel in East Pasco. We'll be visiting these 6 builders that are on the screen. The first 3 Taylor Morrison communities just opened up last week, so we're excited to be visiting them. You can find this agenda on ubaldinitraining.com. Just click on the link on July 26th and you'll see it. Please RSVP in advance to elfds47@gmail. We do have to give a head count in advance for lunch. I will go ahead and put that email address in chat. Thanks, Howard.
Hey there. Thank you so much, Deborah. Appreciate it. And again, the value from the new construction division makes all the world of difference. So if you have any questions or you're working with buyers that are looking for that and you're having trouble finding those things, make sure you reach out to Deborah and Maria, and they're happy to help.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Deborah. Okay, Amber. Yeah, there we go. So Mandy Reininger is with our listing concierge system. This has been a huge requests from a lot of agents, especially as we brought more and more agents into Keller Williams to have a concierge system and program for you all. We've talked about this in some of the market center meetings, yet we wanted to bring it to your attention here as well. So Mandy, did you want to show them how the program works and how they can utilize it and use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Howard. We are so excited to partner on this leverage piece in this fun market, we'll call it right now. So this is the new listing concierge. So this basic package here lets us input your listing into MLS, do all your listing compliance, order your sign, upload photos, disclosures, you know, all the first 48 hours worth of work. And we have broker access through the Ubaldini Market Center. So we can just pop in there and data input all of those items for you. And then we have a second package, an upgraded package. This includes social media, writing those descriptions that we know everybody loves, and ordering staging if necessary. So these two packages are being offered through the market centers. And here on this flyer, you can go to our website. You would just sign up there and then submit your listing to us through the website. So
Andy, just to get clarity, the upgraded package includes everything in the basic, and then you get everything that's on the upgraded as well, correct?
absolutely, yes. So it's $50 more just to add on if you want us to write descriptions or add any marketing to the listing submission.
And just a
So,
little side commercial on this. Keep in mind, I know we're all getting recruiting calls from companies. We do this, we do that. And you're like, oh, I'm paying here. Well, remember, those companies are all charging you a lot more to be a part of those companies. There's no cap. I was just having a conversation over here at our new Wesley Chapel Business Center with an agent that had got a call from a company called Compass yesterday. And they were wheeling and dealing with them and telling them, oh, we do all this for you. Yeah, but you're paying 20 to 30% of your GCI on every single transaction, as opposed to our company where the cap is far lower. There is a cap, and we make these offerings to you that you could do at a minimal level. So when you do your business plan, you're able to incorporate those. So remember, look at the bottom line of what you're doing when you're comparing apples, not apples to oranges. Just thought I'd throw it in there, Mandy.
yeah, no, that's 100% right. And these pricing are very competitive, and really helps leverage your time. So we're here, no training involved. We're just plug and play, ready to go to help you guys with your next listing. So I'm here if you have any questions. My cell's there. You can reach me anytime.
Thank you, Mandy. I think it would be a wonderful thing for HSUs, especially as you're developing your business and want to really focus on the listing side of what you're doing. So we appreciate it. And Mandy's
thank
also talking, and she'll be around at a lot of the team meetings as well, like she was in Bel Air last week. So moving forward, our next presenter we have is Shelly Smith with Knock. This is a tremendous advantage you're going to be able to use for lead generation when you're speaking to your clients, and for putting sales together that may not have happened. And this is an alignment that we're setting up currently for you to have as an advantage. Shelly's from Knock, and she's going to explain exactly how the home swap program works and how you can use it with your clients. Welcome, Shelly, to Keller Williams.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited about this partnership. We have amazing Keller Williams partners across all 50 of our markets. So we're super excited to be partnering with you. And I will also be appearing in your team meetings as well. So today, let's just do a quick high level Knock plus Keller Williams. Like, how do we do this? How do we do the home swap? This is a better way for your clients to buy and sell. So let's go ahead and get started. We know that 60% or more of home buyers are buying and selling at the same time. So they've got this age-old real estate problem, right? It's like the chicken and the egg. If they can't qualify to carry 2 mortgages and they don't have their down payment saved separately, your client's options are to list their house for sale on the open market, hope the perfect dream house comes in right at the right time, and hope that seller takes a contingency. We all know that's not happening in this market. There's ultra low inventory and highly competitive offers. But what if I told you that your clients could actually buy that new house first before listing and selling their current house without sacrificing the equity in their listing and without sacrificing their buying power in the new house? That's the Knock Home Swap. This is that answer for that age-old real estate problem. So Knock is a lending partner, and we are the only lender in the country that enables your clients to buy that new house first. We overlook the debt on the client's listing so they have the same buying power they would have if the listing had already sold without actually having to sell the listing first. They get to leverage their equity to make the transition from their current house to the dream house. So this is a more convenient, more certain, and more cost-effective way to buy and sell. All right, so the way the home swap works is 2 components. The first is the new mortgage. Now, this is a conventional conforming mortgage. It goes to your conforming loan limit, which is $548,250 in all of your markets. And your clients get to buy their new house non-contingent on the listing selling. So as an agent, that gives you a competitive advantage for your clients when you're writing the offer for the dream house. Your clients, meanwhile, go ahead and buy their new house. They own it right away. They start building equity immediately in the new house. And then we pair that conventional loan with the home swap advance. And this portion I think is my favorite. This is the part that makes it really special. So from the home swap advance, think about this like an equity advance. We're advancing the equity your clients have built in their listing to make that down payment up to 20%. We pay up to 6 months of old mortgage payments on the old house, and up to $25,000 in home prep to get the listing ready to go on the market and sell at top dollar. You can, by the way, also use those home prep funds for staging as well. All right, so the way the home swap works is very similar to what you're doing now. Make sure your clients are qualified for the home swap, make sure their listing qualifies and they have enough equity. We actually have an app, and you can check all of that in advance of your listing appointments and then send the clients the application directly from the app on your phone. We make it super easy for you as an agent. And then once your clients are approved, you take them out shopping for the dream home, get the dream home under contract, beating out the competition, because your clients can finally compete non-contingent with other buyers. And then once your clients are securely living in their new house, they're loving life in the new house, then you help them fix up and list their current house for sale. When the listing sells, the home swap is complete. All right, so the next logical question is, how much does it cost, right? So for your clients, it's a 1.25% convenience fee charged on the purchase price of the new house. That takes the place of an origination fee. So at NOC, we have a convenience fee of 1.25%, but we have no origination fee. And then the best part is 0% interest on the equity advance for up to 6 months, which is totally unheard of, right? An equity advance where you pay back dollar for dollar what you use from the listing equity to make the transition to the new house. So the up to 20% down, the 6 months of old mortgage payments, and the home prep is all 0% interest for up to 6 months. All right, so let's talk about what's in it for you then as an agent. Again, you get to write your offers non-contingent on the listing selling. Think about how many clients this helps unlock their equity and allows them to actually make that move, right? You also eliminate the timeline stress. We just talked about new construction. I'll say this is fantastic for new construction. They won't take a contingency in most cases. And then you're trying to time the market, right? When do I list my client's house based on when the new house is going to be built so that my clients have a place to live, but maybe there's a construction delay? This is a solve for that. And when I join your team meetings, we'll talk a little bit more about the strategy on how to use this for new construction. And then this helps get your clients who are on the fence, off the fence, and out shopping. NOC is now in 50 markets, and we hear across all 50 markets that sellers are just afraid to become part of the market. They're afraid of the low inventory. They're afraid of the highly competitive offers. So in a lot of cases, clients are just saying, I'll wait it out. I'll stay stuck in my listing. But we know that when clients go out shopping, they will find a house that they love, right? So with the NOC home swap, no one is pushing them out of their listing. They keep living life like they always have in their current home until they find the perfect dream house. So it really takes the pressure and the stress out of the shopping for the new house because they have a place to live. So maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 2 months. It's okay with the home swap. It really helps you get your clients out shopping for a new house. And then as an agent, obviously this is a market advantage and a marketing advantage for you. We ask you to become a NOC certified agent, which is super simple. We'll talk about that shortly. But once you're a NOC certified agent, you can advertise yourself as able to offer the home swap. And that's got a big competitive advantage in the market. This is not available to every agent. And this also helps you close more double-sided transactions because your clients work with you on both the buy side and the list side of the transaction. So every time you do a NOC home swap, it's 2 deals. And there is no cost to your commission as an agent. Let me just tell you, I've been a realtor for 11 years. Everything costs us something. It's either monthly or it's by transaction. But the home swap is free. It's free to become certified, free to offer this to your clients. And we also provide the marketing collateral for free as well. You will have co-branded pieces for each market center, and we leave space so that you can customize this with your own information. And this is an example of a social media piece that we provide, but we'll talk strategy about using this in the team meeting as well. We have agents using this marketing collateral and having huge success with it, especially the social media content. So we'll talk more about that the next time I see you. All right, so next steps, once I join the team meetings, I'm going to invite you to a webinar. It's a quick 1-hour Zoom webinar. This is not CE, no worries about that, right? So it's a quick 1-hour webinar. You come learn about the home swap, learn how to use the app. We make it really easy. And then you pass a short quiz at the end. No worries, this is not your state exam. This is just a quick quiz. We give you the answers in the webinar. And then once you've passed that quiz, you're officially a NOC certified agent. You can start offering the home swap to clients and advertising yourself as NOC certified. All right. One quick thing, I want to show you this app. We take our partnerships very seriously. We take agent feedback very seriously. We just made an update to our app. You can see this call now button. We have customer success agents that answer the phone live. So that's 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Just go to the little profile button in the app. Once you have that, click the call now button. If you're sitting with a client, you're sitting in a coffee shop, or maybe you're at their house, right? And you think maybe the home swap's a good fit, just pick up the phone and call. We answer live. There are no prompts to go through. We make it super easy to get help if you have a client that you need help with. All right, so with that, I will stop sharing my screen. I will put my email address in the chat so that you've got my contact information, and I will see you again shortly at your team meetings.
Great. Thank you so much, Shelly. I know I see in the chat, people are asking questions and things. You'll be in their team meetings, and also they'll be able to email you and call and things. Oh, you just put it in there. Okay, yeah. So you can email her as well. That's in the chat. So I know you're making yourself really accessible. I've talked to our other market centers in the region. They said, in fact, I talked to one of the 5 conglomerates this morning, Janelle Lorenzano and Charles Posers' group, and they said it's smooth as silk and they make it easy to work with. So Shelly, I appreciate it. Hopefully they'll be able to get in touch with any questions they have. And then agent services, just get with Shelly to get her scheduled into your next team meetings. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
Okay, so our main attraction for this meeting today is a gentleman named Dan DeMott. Dan is the team leader of the KW Innovations, which is the Boynton Beach Market Center. He joined our company about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. He'll tell you more in a second. Because there he is, Dan.
I'm here.
He's awesome. I actually was honored to be able to be a part of bringing Dan into the company. I was involved in some of the meetings to bring him in and met with him, and have had maintained a relationship since he's joined us. I asked him to present to us today because he has not only taken the MREA model, the KW MREA model, and built an incredible business from where he walked in the door. He also is a living example of the opportunity map that we discussed that a lot of you joined Keller Williams to be a part of, as far as taking full advantage of growth through leadership and culture in our company. And he's an incredible human being, just a wonderful dad, great family. His wife, he's a great human being all the way around. So Dan, thanks for spending the time with us today. And I'm going to turn it over to you, and we're anxious to hear from you.
Thanks. Well, I think you're hanging out here with me, Howard, because you're gonna ask me some questions. I guess I can't beat an intro like that, and I appreciate you so much. You know that you are a big part of my coming over. But for those that don't know me, I am the owner of the Home Source team at Keller Williams, and as of November of last year, the team leader for KW Innovations here in Boynton Beach. And Keller Williams has been a tremendous part of my success over the past year and a half. And I did want to share, Howard, I'm not sure if I can be co-host.
Amber, can you make Dan a co-host so you can share?
I just want to share one slide. So this was actually a fun exercise for me. I was preparing this last night.
You should be good now to share, Dan.
Yeah, perfect. To share kind of my growth, and then we can go from there with questions. So, I put a quote here, which has always inspired me, from Elon Musk, and it says, "Stop being patient. Start asking yourself, how do I accomplish my 10 years plan in 6 months? You'll probably fail, but you'll be a lot further along than the person who simply accepted it was going to take 10 years. And that quote has inspired me tremendously, and thanks to the many amazing people who've pushed me since joining Keller Williams. So I wanted to kind of give a breakdown of my production and my team, and how those things have changed for me. So my family's been in the real estate business down here in South Florida for 30 plus years. They had an independent family brokerage, and I had been in commercial real estate previously, but in 2018, I decided to, pursue residential sales and join the family business. And so my first year there, you could see I did 18 sides and 4.8 million. And then 2019, I decided to really, get further into it and push to grow, and got up to 37 sides and almost $10 million. And at the end of that year, the team leader here in Boynton Beach at that time reached out to me, and we started a conversation. And I was really fortunate to go join everyone at Family Reunion in person last year out in Dallas. And I met Howard, and I met Nikki, and so many amazing people, and really walked away believing that Keller Williams was a company that had the same values that I did and my family did, and had a vision for the future of the real estate industry that was consistent with my own. I think when I entered the family business, I thought that the residential real estate space was going to undergo more change in the next decade than any other industry, and that was very exciting for me. I still believe that to be true, and I believe Keller Williams is the only company fighting to keep the agent at the center of a transaction. So I joined Keller Williams. I actually joined the office 1 week before the office was shut down for COVID. I signed my papers, got a key to the office, and was told, we're so excited to have you. By the way, you can't come here next week. And I went home and proceeded to have a huge panic attack that I just convinced my whole family to close our independent brokerage and move it to Keller Williams. And now we can't even go to the office. But it ended up being the best thing that could have ever happened, because the amazing community that we have here in the South Florida region and throughout the company that immediately got everybody on Zoom and kept everyone motivated and gave us things to do. And so I at that time took this quote to heart, and the power of, the community that was around us, and just put my head down and started building our team and growing our business. And so last year, even with the pandemic, we ended up doing 84 transaction sides for 19.9 million. So far, year to date, we've done 86 sides for 22.6 million. And our goal for this year is to get up to 198 sides and 50 million of sales.
Let's just start right there, right? Okay, because the year before you joined Keller Williams, you were at 9 million. So your business went, more than doubled in just the first year you were with us.
Yes.
And not only that, then you took on the team leader role, which added. So when we talk about the org chart from the MREA model and the organization model, and I love how you have level 6.5 on there. You made your own little sub caption. I guess you talked to Gary Keller about that.
We're getting there. Yeah.
I know. But my question would be, in how we most beneficial, because we've got 77 agents on here. My question would be, what do you think? What changed besides you coming to us? What were you implementing? And we do know the market probably had something to do with that, but what were you implementing to cause that kind of explosive growth to your business like that? Because that's huge.
Well, the biggest part was truly being in the Keller Williams community locally, and thanks to the power of the internet, nationally and internationally. I had the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book in my nightstand for 10 years, and whenever I was looking at any real estate business, or when I truly committed to residential sales and started growing, I was reading the book myself.
Right.
The difference when I came was the ability to have access to people all the time who had the answers. So I never had to say, who do I hire next? Or how do I interview them? Or how do I get their job description? Or what's their compensation plan? I always had the answer. I just had to come to my leadership and say, this is what I want to do. What do I do? And the answer was given to me.
Reaching out, because you and I've had multiple conversations regarding different things through the year you've been with us. Let's get really gritty with it, though. Did you change your lead sources? Did you add lead sources? Did you, are you using any kind of different internal systems? Has command come into play in this? Sure. Here's what I'm going to tell you. These agents that are on here are obviously very interested in how you had that kind of growth. And I think the more tangible and tactical you could be, it's going to help them.
Sure. So I would tell you, from the tactical standpoint, it wasn't anything new. It was refining the process. So my business was always database and then circle prospecting. Those were the two systems that I had built my business on. Get a lead out of my database from someone I knew. And then, sorry, this TV gets a little distracting back there. And then convert that into more business using circle prospecting. So when I started, it was me, and then it was me and an admin, and I was doing all of that. the what Keller Williams gave me was the model to teach others to do those things and to improve them, right? So now as a team leader, I consult other people who are building their businesses, and you know, my team executes a 52 touch database program, which always makes me smile. But I tell people, in 2018, I remember celebrating that we could just get one email out to our database every month. Like 12 touch was a miracle not that long ago. But you build it over time, you add things to it
Oh, so I
as you
see in the
grow.
chat like 52 touches with thousands of question marks and things like that. Like, talk to them a little bit about that. Are you using, is it all electronic? Is there more phone involved? Are you implementing VAs? What are you doing with that?
Sure. My whole team uses Command. So it
You
is
hear that,
email.
Keller Williams? Did you, whoa, 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 whoa. This man went from 9 million to 20 million, 20.9 million, and he's using Command to do that. Okay, just thought I'd highlight that. Go ahead,
Yep.
Dan.
100%. We made the commitment to using Command right when I joined, and we've seen it through, and we've, it's amazing for all the challenges that of course, we all know exist. When I first joined, I started using Command, and I made a list of all the things that I wished it would do. And I will tell you that particularly after the Mega Camp update for team features last year, I'm down to a very short list of things that I wish they could do. And with the tech update we got today about the ability to automatically tag and start smart plans, that list might be empty at this point.
Mhm.
But so it's heavily driven by email automation, and then we augment it with personal touches. My team does DTD2 for quarterly calls to the whole database. We use the smart plans for birthdays and home anniversaries, and we send cards that are branded to our team, and we personalize those. And so it's all of those basics just stacked on top of each other, and then leveraging the technology to make sure we can execute it efficiently and consistently.
What kind of accountability do you have implemented in your systems to make sure that's, because you're leveraged in a lot of different areas in a lot of different ways. And we're going to talk about how you have that implemented in your personal life in a minute. But what type of internal accountability systems do you have to make sure, besides either production's happening or it's not, to help make sure that that's occurring on a daily basis?
Sure. So again, the beauty of relying on the automation, right, is we know that Command is doing that, and we can use the command reports to see what's happening there. We do also do as part of our circle prospecting, print marketing, and so we are kind of actively monitoring that as part of a process that happens when we reach different phases of a transaction. But as far as the team and phone calls, we do daily huddles, really short, just to get everyone's focus and intent for the day. Who are they calling? What are they calling? And we operate as a team. So we're all on the same week for DTD2. We're all, everyone acknowledges what circle prospecting list they're going to be calling or following up with. And we have a lot of accountability, kind of built into the routine of our team.
Got it. Awesome. So as far as like your, well, let me take a step back. So your personal, you have two daughters,
two daughters.
Oh, two daughters, right? So you got, your family's, going there, and they're young. How old are they?
2 and 5.
I love when you put them online because I get to see them. So you've got that, you've got your marriage, you've got your, with your wife, you've got your team doing what it's doing. You've accepted a team leader role, which I want to talk to you a little bit about what made you think about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, I've got agents on here, and I'm going to be just as guilty, that are working like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. How do you make it so that you're able to do all that and still maintain a life with your family, a true life by design? How
Sure.
have you been able to, and I know that that's changed for you too since you've come to Keller Williams, but how have you put that in place?
Sure. Well, I would tell you, I owe a great debt to my family, who are very supportive and part of the business, and make a lot of accommodations for me to accomplish the things that I want to do. But the other thing is the idea of success through others, right? One of our Keller Williams core beliefs. Once I got through the hurdle of understanding that it wasn't me that people necessarily wanted to do business with, it was what I represented and the standard of care that they knew I would deliver. And then I could teach others to do that, you can get a tremendous amount of your time back. And actually, for me personally, far more fulfillment seeing other people accomplish their goals and being part of helping them do that. So I'm extremely lucky on the real estate sales side. While I still I'm 6.5, I'm still kind of wear that CEO and problem solver hat from time to time when the team needs me. The team functions really independently, and really with the exception of, our 5-10 minute daily huddle in the morning. Once a week, we do a team meeting for an hour, and the occasional advice or troubleshooting. The team is running. And likewise here as team leader, a lot of the same challenges. Now I'm newer into that role and not, and still building out that team, but I'm blessed to have an amazing team here in my market center that, executes a lot of the vision that I have for how we can bring more value to our agents.
So when I met with, we had lunch, I remember at Family Reunion, the last live one we can go to. And I remember sitting there with you and Carly, and we were talking about the opportunity map. And I was thrilled to know that you were going to come to Keller Williams. I had no idea you were going to jump in the leadership pool as fast as you did.
Neither did I.
I thought it was going to be a little further down the road. And it's interesting, leadership opportunities are abundant in our region, right? There's all kinds of things that these people on the call might be interested in. And we have a leadership academy among these 4 offices that we run each week. We've got it tomorrow at 11 o'clock. People are part of that and so forth. I talk to a lot of people about, you might want to consider leadership as your next step on that opportunity map, because the team leader, for example, platform is a platform and a springboard for a lot of other, OP, ownership, regional leadership, all these different types of things that you might want to be a part of. What made you feel like that was the next best step for you? Because it was a big step, and to have the monumental growth you have with your team and do that at the same time and have to realign your life to do that. Talk to me about that whole decision-making process and what was attractive about taking that route.
Sure. Well, one, you were a big part of that, from our very first conversation. And I've told you this before. You were one of the first people I've ever met in my life who told me I wasn't thinking big enough, which stuck with me. That's a tough pill to swallow for someone who's fairly ambitious and has accomplished a fair bit. But what I really realized was that it would give me a couple things when the opportunity arose. And I actually said no the first 2 times I was asked if I wanted the opportunity.
I was made aware of that.
One was, I realized that if I truly wanted to get the team to level 7 and truly learn how to run a real estate business, it would force me to do that, right? And that's very much been the case. My schedule is jam-packed every day. And so that my team has to step up. It's forced me to make decisions to put people and process in place that I might not have otherwise done, because I could have been the crutch to fill that gap. But now, because I can't be, we have to have a real system and a process in place for that. And then really what ultimately attracted me to it was, the ability to impact other people. And, so many people have helped me be able to build this team and have the success that we've had. And my ability to translate that to others was a big part of it. I think also I'm a big believer in that concept that I said of our industry going through the biggest shift it's ever had in the next decade. And when I was at Family Reunion, I got the opportunity to listen to Jason Abrams talk about the disruption coming to the industry and what Keller Williams' position was about keeping the agent at the center of the transaction. I sincerely believe that this industry is going to have a lot of disruption over the next year. And I know fact certain, now that I'm in leadership, that the smartest people in our industry are at this company, and they're working really hard to put our agents in a position to be the next evolution of a real estate agent and stay at the center of the transaction. So for me, as part of a bigger life mission, right, if I can play a role in defining what the future of a real estate agent looks like and changing the public's perception of the value we provide as an industry, that's an amazing opportunity. And, and this role was a way to get in.
Well, and I think too, a lot of times we're having to take a step back to take 10 steps forward, or like Gary Keller says, we have to sometimes get smaller to get bigger. And so that takes, agents, as you all know, you're running businesses. You're running a business. We're at mid-year right now, right? It's July. July's half over today. It's the 15th, right? So,
Yep.
we're looking at our businesses and see what they want to do and where they want to go. And I think that sometimes you have to put certain motions in place in order to get what you want to get to make it happen long term. And I think sometimes we're all guilty of this. We think about just the next year instead of the next 10 or 20. So you've been a great example, a great example of being able to, put those wheels in place to make that happen in a lot of different ways. So what else should we know, Dan, about you as far as what you've done to be as successful as you've been, to have the growth you've had with the team, in the team leader role, your family element? Like, what else should we know that are maybe some like tips to success? Also, maybe like some books that have been extremely helpful for you, or podcasts or things, or people that have been influences on you and things like that would help our agents here that are on the call.
Sure. I mean, I would say the biggest thing is, not to give up. Every one of these things, it's easy to sit back now. And like I said, it was a fun exercise for me to put that chart together to see the growth of our production and the growth of the structure of the team, because I probably am guilty of not taking much time to stop and look at where we've gone. I'm always pushing forward, but I would say that's a part of it. It's been with tremendous challenge that we've got here, and there's been very few days or weeks, that didn't bring some adversity, but you keep working at the challenges. You surround yourself with great people who are supportive and will help you get there. You seek that counsel. I would say that's the big key. As far as books, the 12-week year has been a great one, which I know has gone around often. The other one I would say would be really, really great for someone looking to build a team is a relatively new book called Who, Not How, which gives you to sum it up in a nutshell, is the idea that if you're struggling to get something done or haven't unlocked some next phase of what you need to do in your business, you're asking yourself the wrong question. You're asking yourself, how am I going to get this done? And what you should be asking is, who is going to get this done for me or with me? And that's been really key for my success, is learning how to get other people on board, get them in their strength, and align them with where I want to go. So those are two really great books. And then The One Thing and MREA are ones that I constantly go back to.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. Awesome. So who has questions for Dan? And Amber, if you could watch, if we need to spotlight anybody for that, who's got any questions for Dan regarding his business, his use of the opportunity map, what he's done, all that type of thing? Let me see if I can turn this off here. Turn it up right there. Who's got questions? Anybody? You can raise digital hand. You could unmute yourself. Let us know. Wow. Oh, here we go. What was the title of the first book? It was The 12-Week Year. Yeah, that's something that actually Mark King and Gary Keller have pushed for us to read that. Who's that by, Dan?
I don't know. Can you see who's the author on that book? It's right in the middle there. Brian Moran.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Brian Moran. Okay, awesome. Okay.
Really great book. There's also a workbook that comes with it that you want to do, but the concept there is, we naturally as humans kind of wait till the last minute to rush, right? The idea of, if anybody's ever booked a vacation, right? Don't you get everything done 3 days leading up to the vacation? Magically, that to-do list clears out because you're headed off. And so and so my team and I use this. We run in 12-week increments. So you've got 4 periods. You got 4 quarters, so to speak. They're just shorter than our calendar quarters. You get a week off in between each one to regroup and set the next hurdle. But we're not looking at the 198 deals we want to do. We're looking at the 48 that we want to get done.
Gotcha. Garrett, it looks like you've got a question for Dan.
Yes. Congratulations on your new role in real estate, young man.
Thank you.
My question is, how has your market center embraced you in your role as team leader, given the success that you've shown, with your own team?
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're probably banging at your door to get secrets to to join you in that success?
Yeah, it's been interesting, and I think in all those situations, right? Of course, it comes down to what's the intentions, and that was a question I had before I took the role. How would I be received? But I knew, and it's played out that once people see that my intention is to help, I don't have any secrets. My team's, everything we do and use is open book to everyone that would like to see it. And that's one of the great things about Keller Williams culture. I'll tell you, half of the stuff that I implemented in my team isn't my own. It comes from the Loken Group, which is another top performing team in our Keller Williams network. And they amazingly have a share drive that you can get access to if you're a Keller Williams agent and see everything about their business. So I embrace that.
And they're a team that's doing, what are they doing? Like 4,500, 5,000 deals a year, I think. Something
yeah,
like
easily 5,000 deals a year. Yeah, at this point. So that's been the reception. I think there was a little people who were unsure at the beginning, but we've worked through or past that, and they see my intention is to help them out in earnest, and people are having great success.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Garrett. Paul Mercer, you had a question about Paul runs a team in our Northwest Tampa Market Center. What do you look for in the agent you add to a team?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, grit, the ability to stick something out, someone who wants to show up. My team, and this is not necessarily for how everyone, this is not necessarily, I think, a prerequisite, but for me and my team, showing up every day, being in the office, dressing professionally, that's kind of the expectation. And that sets the tone for the culture of our team. And so having that person who's on board with, our culture and a fit of, you keep doing the work. We know it pays off. It's not easy to get on the phone every day for 2 hours, but we do it because we know that it generates the results we want. And then, I've had all different levels of experience on our team. I've had a agent who's been an agent for 4 years that joined my team, and I've had someone that was brand new, just got their license, and we've been able to pretty consistently get them all to have success.
Well,
so,
and
yeah, I don't think there's one thing.
Too is career visioning, right? I mean, and
100%.
That discussion multiple times, but I mean, it's like Nikki teaches here she teaches across the country this, but in our offices for sure. I mean, you cheat that process, it's going to haunt you. And it can be, trust me, I live in it every single day. I'm involved in someone with somehow career visioning. But if you do that process top to bottom, especially the reference elements, and you really, really dig deep when it comes to the motivation interview, I don't know, Dan, how you feel about that. I feel like that can help that quality of the candidate you're bringing onto the team.
100%. I will tell you that maybe I shouldn't say this as a leader, but I'm going to be honest. I've probably tried to cut every corner in the career visioning process that exists, and every time learn the lesson of why you don't cut that corner. That honestly, career visioning as a course is so exceptional, because if that course was packaged and someone took it to Fortune 500 companies, they would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach their HR managers and managers how to run that process. The fact that we have it and that it is so truly so good, along with the KPA as a tool, is probably one of our biggest secrets. So that is a course which I take every time. I learn something every time. And the other thing I would say is, if you want to build a team and you want to hire people, you have to make time in your schedule to do it. And you have to interview people, and you have to go through that process, because you're going to learn how to do it better, how to ask the questions. I would also suggest, especially for you guys, your ownership group and your market center group have such amazing leaders who know it so well. Ask someone to go through it with you, right? I at one point reached out to Howard, and Howard took me through, the motivations, section of it. And then have them explain to you. I've had my OP here is Jackie Ellis. She's also an expert at it. And I've had her take me through it and then teach me. If someone answers this question this way, that's a red flag. If you don't hear this, that should be a concern.
Yeah.
Committing to learning that process, and then committing the time to interviewing people on a consistent basis is key if you want to grow a team.
And I will tell you that, well, a couple things. One is any of our Keller Williams tools, I think we sometimes take it for granted. You know what I mean? Like we just don't, because we have access to it and always have. And, you know, I always compare it to like, I'm not saying this to be victim or anything. You know, I grew up in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home in Annapolis, Maryland. That's all we had. That there were 5 of us living with, you know, and we moved to our house that had like 3 bathrooms. It was like it was this big deal. And now, you know, kids now are like, whatever, it's the next, you know, and I think we're kind of like that with our stuff here at Keller Williams, like, oh yeah, whatever. 3016 success or other, yeah, we got all that stuff and don't understand the value of it at certain points. So that's, and the other thing is any of the agents that I speak to that are like, I've been through like 5 EAs in the last year, and I'm like, are you using career visioning? No, you know, like that's usually what happens on the other side. So
Yep.
I believe that. Before we run out of time, because a couple people have asked about this, everybody seems very intrigued about your 52 touches. And it says 52 touches in your database and successful events you've had. Like I mean, because it's so different than it's so much more maximized the MREA. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So neighborhood, again, the core of it, you get 36 out of 52 is emails. Neighborhood nurture, again, through command, really, really valuable tool because it's branded, it's automated, and it's customized, right? So that's one, a generic kind of team newsletter. We put an article from Keeping Current Matters. We put something about maybe a new listing or a recent close and a testimonial. So 12 of those, one every month. And then we, a plain text email that goes out talking about referral scenarios, I call them. So, one of my favorite things about MREA is those conversion ratios in the lead gen model, right? And so the gold standard that Gary writes is, 2 for every 12 out of your database. 1 being a piece of business which is going to transact, which we know statistically is likely. And then the other is the referral, right? Which is the hardest one to get. It's where people end up coming up short on their database conversion. So what I started doing was coming up with scenarios where we've helped other people and then sharing those in a really simple plain text email, no branding, no marketing. Looks like I typed it up on my phone late one night, but saying, if you know anybody who wants to purchase a home, but they're in a lease, right? We recently helped someone get out of a lease and into their first home, right? With the thought being that we want the whole purpose of the lead gen model and the 33 touches to get that mind share. Someone thinks about real estate, they think about you. But more organically, how things happen is we have that kind of conversation, right? You're at dinner with a friend and they go, I really don't want to miss this market or these low interest rates. I'd love to get in a house, but I got 6 months left on my lease and who knows what the market's going to be like then. But now all of a sudden I've planted this seed. Oh, you should call Dan because I got an email from him and he just helped someone get out of their lease. So thinking through those scenarios, the common kind of life event scenarios that real estate transactions happen around and share them. So 3 emails a month is.
And if you've got anything that outlines that, if you could send it to me, and
yeah,
I'll get
absolutely.
to send it out to the agent. If everybody's on the call today, that would be great. I've got one last question for you myself. I know you had what was an $18 to $20 million producer from EXP come and join you in your Boynton Beach Market Center. What do you think brought them from EXP over to Keller Williams?
What specifically brought him was the model to success. So he was in this market here locally, and he watched me come over to Keller Williams and grow my business. He watched a guy who joined the same time I did, Justin Himmelbaum, come over and have tremendous success. And he was watching on the sideline, and he was at EXP and he had a lot of success. He'd done 19 million in the past 12 months. And he came in and met with us, and both Justin and I said to him, the key here is the systems and the process and a game plan that works, and a brokerage that views itself, now I'm in my team, put my team leader hat on, right? My role every day, along with the rest of my leadership team here, is to come in and give value to our agents, right? We might not be the cheapest, maybe the cap is lower somewhere else, but I believe we're giving every agent their value back for what they pay into our office in terms of systems, models, process. And that's what attracted him.
Yeah.
He believes very firmly that being here and having access to the Keller Williams network is going to get him from 19 million to 40 million.
And it will. We have multiple scenarios like that, not to mention at a company like that where they're relying on one broker for the whole state could be a problem. You had him join. We had 3 from EXP over in our Port St. Lucie office last week as well. So it's great to see that movement over here. Dan, thank you a million. I mean,
Thank you for having me.
Have your presence. It's awesome. And I would be happy to return the favor to your market center as well. I really appreciate you spending the time with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you guys. And I'm really easy. Everyone I'll put my email in the chat, and I'm easy to find on Facebook. Anyone's welcome to reach out to me.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
So Amber, let's go into our events. Last few reminders we've got as far as events that we want to make sure everybody's aware of that are coming up. Okay. So this is a training we've got, correct?
Correct.
Did Natasha tell us doing?
It's FES.
Okay, there's 2 different events. Okay, yep. One is the one that Natasha's doing using the disc and listing, selling more. One looks like Rachel Adams Lee is doing one that's based on social media. Yeah, it's a whole social media element as far as what she did to build her business at a high level. So the one's on Tuesday the 20th, one's on Thursday the 22nd. What else? Okay, Gary's masterminds. You really want to be at those now, and I'll tell you why. Because when he analyzes the county absorption rates, what's happening, what's selling, what's going on, that type of thing, it's incredible information that you can use your buyer consultations and your listing presentations. Don't forget too that Gary, when he was actively selling real estate, was doing 200 to 300 deals a year. So you think you can learn? Absolutely, 100%. Market Centers really pushed to get him to come speak to them, and we have him at our disposal. Also, we've got 6 personal perspectives coming up. It looks like on Thursday the 29th. That is actually, Dan is actually involved in that, and also is Justin Himmelbaum. Chris Cusimano, there's some great agents on there that are doing that. So that's the FES class that's going to be on Thursday the 29th. So that's as close as your Zoom screen. Okay, so we just went through those. The only other thing I see on here is October 7th. That's Jenny Mosier's business planning clinic that we're doing through FES. That's going to be in person at the Clearwater Market Center. Don't let the fall go by and not have your business plan put in place. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. The August masterminds are going to be live in person. So it's the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Gary's masterminds will be in, is that respective? Yeah, he's going back. So 11th Palm Harbor, 12th Tampa, 13th Bel Air. Those are in person in those market centers. So understand that that's not Zoom, that's in person. The shift class when Natasha is in person in the Tampa Market Center. The MREA class, business planning clinic with Jenny Mosier, is in the Clearwater Market Center. So sorry to throw any confusion at you. We're going back to a lot more in person so that you're able to actually interact better with the instructor. Okay, and then the next town hall is going to be August 19th. Yeah, we're still working on our guests for that, but we've got some good ideas of who that's going to be. Honestly, I'm working on Chris Cusimano because he does he's built a extra $10 to $15 million in his business strictly through Instagram. That's how I'm working to get for that. So understand that that's our next town hall. We appreciate you being with us today. We hope you got lots and lots of value, and make it a great rest of your week. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.